let's talk about one of the most frustrating things for new baristas, and that's steaming your milk properly and pouring latte art. I know when I got a job at a cafe for the first time, I could pull a great tasting shot relatively fast, but steaming my milk properly and pouring latte art took a lot of practice. And I know working in a cafe is totally different because you're pulling shot after shot, making drink after drink, and at home you're pulling one shot, maybe two, and calling it a day, and you're not really getting all of that practice. So let's talk about a few tips that you can take to hopefully up your latte art game and to steam milk properly. First, you're going to want to purge your steam wand. Excess water is going to build up within the steam wand, and you're going to want to purge it before you actually steam your milk. Once you purge it, go ahead and use the spout of your pitcher to guide the steam wand into the milk. I like to start right dead in the center of my pitcher, and then I will angle my pitcher off to the side to where I am halfway between the wall of the pitcher and halfway from the center of the pitcher. I like to submerge the tip of the steam wand and then push the steam button on my Casabrews and let the steaming start. Once I see that there is a whirlpool starting to form, I will use the spout of the pitcher to help guide myself and lower the pitcher to incorporate more air to where it starts to sound like paper ripping. Now, I like to let this run for a little while. I like to let that sound happen for at least 10 seconds or until the pitcher starts to get warm, and then I will use the spout to guide my pitcher back up and submerge the tip of the steam wand to stop incorporating the air, but to still keep the whirlpool going, making sure everything is getting incorporated properly. Now, if you submerge the tip too soon, your milk is going to be a little bit thin, and if you incorporate too much air, your milk is going to be a little thick. Now, personally for me, if I'm going to mess up one way or the other, I like to add a little too much air and have a little bit thicker milk than thin milk because that does affect the mouthfeel of the drink, and I prefer to have a little bit thicker drink than something that's a little too thin. Once you're done steaming, go ahead and purge the steam wand because some milk might have gotten sucked up into the steam wand, and go ahead and wipe that off as well because you don't want old burnt milk just sitting on your steam wand going into the next drink. You want something nice and clean. Now let's start pouring the latte art. To pour your latte art, start by incorporating the milk into the espresso by pouring higher up so that the milk buries itself and fully incorporates itself in the espresso without laying on top. Now, when you're ready to lay your design on top, lower the spout of the pitcher and slowly pour and tilt your hands at the same time, lifting up and pulling through, and you have a heart. If it's too thick, it's just gonna kind of be a blob on top and you're not really able to manipulate it well. If it's too thin, it's gonna be a little squirrely and squiggly, but if you've steamed your milk properly, it's gonna lay and allow you to manipulate it to where you can make multiple pours or one nice big heart pour, or if you're crazy, you can go ahead and try a Rosetta and get those squigglies going. But that's some basic tips to hopefully elevate your milk steaming game to where you're able to pour some latte art.